Welcome, fellow adventurers, to Alternative History Adventures, the channel where we embark on daring journeys through the corridors of time to explore worlds that never were. I'm your guide on this fantastical odyssey, and today, we set sail into the realms of possibility, where the Northmen, the Vikings, aren't merely the raiders of history but the architects of empires. In this alternate reality, our narrative unfolds in a Europe shaped by the winds of change, where the Vikings, known for their fierce seafaring and audacious exploration, have risen to become the masters of their own destiny. Join us as we unravel the tapestry of Viking empires in Europe, a saga of political intrigue, cultural fusion, and military conquest. Picture a world where the Vikings, driven by a vision of unity, implement political reforms, transforming their society into a formidable force. Instead of fleeting raids, these Northmen establish lasting alliances and trade routes, weaving a tapestry of cultural exchange that alters the course of history. Our journey takes us to the heart of these Viking settlements, where longships find harbor, not as invaders, but as settlers seeking integration. Together with the locals, they build a new world, a fusion of Norse resilience and European ingenuity. As the centuries unfold, witness the Viking empires flexing their maritime prowess and military might, expanding their territories across the map. But it's not just a story of conquest, it's a narrative of collaboration, where the Vikings' influence shapes the Renaissance, propelling Europe into an era of unparalleled innovation. So, buckle up, time travelers. Join us on Alternative History Adventures as we navigate uncharted waters and reimagine a Europe where the Vikings aren't just history's raiders, they're the architects of empires. Subscribe, hit that notification bell, and let the adventures begin. Historical background. In the 8th century, the Vikings, seafaring warriors from Scandinavia, were notorious for their raids on European coastal communities. With advanced ship designs and navigational skills, they struck fear into the hearts of many. These Norsemen primarily sought wealth through plunder, and their raids left a lasting mark on European history. The Vikings' raids, however, were not purely acts of aggression. In addition to their maritime exploits, the Norse engaged in trade and exploration, establishing connections with various cultures across the continent. By the 9th and 10th centuries, Viking presence expanded beyond mere raids, and they began to settle in regions such as England, Ireland, and France. Historical divergence. The crucial point of divergence in our alternate history occurred in the late 8th century. Instead of persisting as decentralized and often conflicting chieftaincies, Viking leadership underwent a transformative shift. A visionary leader emerged, implementing political reforms that centralized authority and promoted stability within Viking society. This newfound cohesion led to a strategic shift in Viking objectives. Recognizing the potential for greater prosperity through trade and alliances, the Vikings actively sought diplomatic and economic engagement with neighboring regions. The vision of a united Scandinavia, not just as raiders but as contributors to a shared European civilization, became the driving force. By the 10th century, Viking settlements took root, not as temporary outposts for raiding parties, but as permanent communities blending Norse and local cultures. This integration softened the historical animosity between Vikings and the various European societies, setting the stage for a different trajectory in the annals of history. As the 11th century unfolded, the Vikings, now recognized as valuable contributors to the European tapestry, began to play a more significant role in regional politics. Economic prosperity and diplomatic finesse paved the way for a Viking-led military expansion, where their formidable naval forces and battle-hardened warriors shaped the course of history in unexpected ways. This alternate timeline sees Viking empires stretching across Europe by the 13th century, leaving an indelible mark on the continent's political, cultural, and scientific landscape. The Renaissance, often sparked by cross-cultural interactions, takes on a uniquely Norse-European character, creating a world where the Vikings aren't just legendary raiders but enduring architects of empires. Hear me, seekers of sagas, for today we venture into the halls of destiny. Our tale begins in the 8th century, where the winds of change blow across the Scandinavian fjords. A leader, wise and visionary, emerges to forge a new path for the Vikings. This leader, known as Jarl Eirik Bloodaxe, sought not only plunder but a united Scandinavia. Under his helm, reforms were set in motion, transforming the Vikings from raiders to architects of empires. Jarl Eirik established the Great Althing, a central assembly where Viking clans convened to discuss matters of governance, trade, and foreign relations. This sacred gathering became the heartbeat of a united Norse society. Under Eirik's leadership, a centralized military command emerged. The best military minds from across Scandinavia collaborated, turning the Vikings into a strategic force. No longer mere raiders, they became defenders of a shared destiny. Eirik recognized the power of economic unity. He introduced a common currency, securing trade routes and incentivizing Viking merchants. The fjords echoed with the clinking of coins as prosperity spread. In a surprising turn, Eirik fostered a culture of learning. Monastic centers, once targets of raids, now flourished as hubs of education. The Vikings, patrons of the arts and sciences, attracted scholars from far and wide. To ensure justice prevailed, Eirik codified laws. A comprehensive legal system emerged, balancing the harsh realities of Viking life with a sense of fairness. These laws became the bedrock of a more stable society. Under Jarl Eirik Bloodaxe's leadership, the Vikings transformed. No longer isolated clans, but a united force, building not just longships but an empire. Join us as we unfold the saga of Viking empires in Europe, where the Northmen, under Eirik's vision, shaped a destiny few dared dream. Eirik's diplomats, clad in furs and bearing the standard of unity, traversed the European waters, negotiating treaties and establishing trade routes. Longships, once feared as harbingers of doom, became vessels of commerce, weaving a web of connections across the seas. Viking marketplaces thrived with goods from distant lands. Scandinavian craftsmanship blended with European luxuries, creating a fusion of cultures that painted the landscape of a new era. Alliances, once forged in the fires of conflict, now blossomed through diplomacy. Viking warriors stood side by side with European soldiers, united under a banner of shared prosperity and common defense. Eirik's vision extended beyond borders. European leaders convened with Viking chieftains in grand summits, fostering understanding and cooperation. The once distant and mysterious Northmen became integral to the intricate tapestry of European politics. Cities along the North Sea and Baltic shores bore the mark of this cultural exchange. Viking longhouses and European architecture intertwined, creating vibrant urban centers where Norse and European traditions coexisted. As the currents of diplomacy and trade reshaped the Viking destiny under Jarl Eirik Bloodaxe, a new chapter emerges, one of integration and shared identity. In this alternate tapestry, the 10th century sees Viking longships arriving not as raiders, but as settlers. Eirik's vision extends beyond conquest, laying the groundwork for a cultural exchange that would forever change the face of Europe. Viking settlers, led by the principles of unity forged by Jarl Eirik, established permanent homes along the coasts of England, France, and the Low Countries. These weren't mere outposts, they were vibrant communities where Norse and European cultures merged. The once foreign Vikings integrated with local populations. Language barriers dissolved as Norse and European tongues mingled in the lively marketplaces. Skills and traditions were exchanged, forging a unique identity that transcended the boundaries of origin. Leadership too saw a fusion. Viking leaders, once symbols of distant might, participated in European ceremonies, earning the respect and trust of their newfound brethren. The integration was not a forced assimilation but a celebration of shared values and goals. Viking settlements expanded, not through conquest, but through cooperation. The once fractured European landscape now saw the rise of towns where Norse and European architecture coexisted, creating a visual testament to the unity envisioned by Jarl Eirik. Festivals became a melting pot of traditions, blending Norse celebrations with European festivities. The landscape echoed with the laughter of children playing, weaving stories of unity and shared identity for generations to come. The halls of Viking longhouses echo with the collaboration of artists. Norse and European painters, sculptors, and poets come together, creating masterpieces that draw inspiration from both worlds. The result is a unique fusion of artistic expression. Viking longships, once instruments of raiding, now embark on expeditions of discovery. Explorers return not only with tales of distant lands but with knowledge that sparks a cultural renaissance. The Vikings become purveyors of innovation, propelling Europe into a new era. Scientific progress flourishes under Eirik's enlightened rule. Norse and European scholars collaborate on breakthroughs in navigation, astronomy, and medicine. The Vikings' maritime expertise becomes a driving force behind a scientific revolution that reshapes the European worldview. Universities, once solely the domain of the European elite, now open their doors to eager Norse minds. Academic disciplines blend, creating a curriculum that encompasses the best of both worlds. Together, Vikings and Europeans celebrate the pursuit of knowledge. The Renaissance, born from this cultural exchange, transforms European cities into vibrant centers of enlightenment. Streets echo with debates, markets teem with ideas, and the echoes of progress reverberate through the ages. The 12th century unfolds, marked by the resounding thunder of Viking longships and the strategic brilliance of Jarl Eirik Blood Axe. This is a saga of military prowess, strategic expansion, and the forging of a formidable legacy. No longer content with limited horizons, the Viking empires under Jarl Eirik set sail on a new era of strategic expansion. The 12th century witnesses the Northmen extending their influence beyond familiar shores. Eirik's centralized military command, refined through decades of peace, now proves its might on the battlefield. Viking longships, once symbols of exploration, become instruments of strategic conquest. The seas no longer divide, they unite the Viking empires under a common purpose. The alliances forged in diplomacy now manifest on the battlefield. Viking warriors, battle-hardened and disciplined, stand shoulder to shoulder with European forces against common adversaries. This unity reshapes the geopolitical landscape of Europe. The Viking empires, guided by Eirik's vision, extend their territories into regions previously beyond their reach. Iberia, Italy, and Central Europe witnessed the arrival of the Northmen, not as invaders, but as architects of a new order. Diplomacy and military strategy go hand in hand. Viking leaders, skilled in both, negotiate strategic alliances with key European powers. These agreements not only secure borders but pave the way for mutual prosperity. The once fractious Viking territories now stand united under a common banner. Eirik's vision has transformed the Vikings into a formidable force, reshaping the course of European history with each conquest. The 13th century unfolds, and under the wise rule of Jarl Eirik Blood Axe, the Northmen have become architects of a legacy that echoes through the corridors of history. What once seemed an alternate reality has become a vibrant truth, Viking empires standing as pillars of European civilization. The 13th century is marked by prosperity, unity, and the enduring legacy of Jarl Eirik's visionary leadership. Viking settlements, once scattered along distant shores, now flourish into grand cities. Blending Norse resilience with European ingenuity, these urban centers stand as testaments to the successful integration and collaboration forged under Eirik's leadership. Jarl Eirik's vision has transformed the Vikings from outsiders to influential players in European politics. Viking leaders attend European summits as equals, their voices echoing through the halls of power, shaping the destiny of a united continent. Cultural celebrations, once separate, now fuse into grand festivals that honor both Norse and European traditions. The legacy of Jarl Eirik's enlightened rule echoes in the laughter, music, and unity of a people bound by shared history. The Renaissance, born from the fusion of Norse and European cultures, reaches its zenith. Viking-inspired art, science, and philosophy become integral to this golden age, pushing the boundaries of human achievement. As external threats loom, the Viking empires stand united against adversity. Eirik's military reforms and strategic alliances prove invaluable as the Northmen, now integral to European defense, safeguard the continent from common foes. As the pages of history turn, the 14th century and beyond unfold a legacy shaped by the enduring impact of Jarl Eirik Blood Axe's transformative rule. The Viking empires, once born of raids and voyages, have evolved into formidable players on the world stage. The 14th century witnesses these united realms influencing global affairs, leaving an indelible mark on the course of human civilization. The legacy of Jarl Eirik's vision resonates through the centuries. Viking-inspired architecture becomes an integral part of the modern European landscape, a living testament to the enduring influence of the Northmen. The Renaissance, fueled by Viking-European collaboration, transcends borders. Scientific discoveries, artistic innovations, and philosophical breakthroughs shape a Renaissance that extends beyond Europe, leaving an impact felt across continents. Viking European societies, once confined to the northern realms, become cultural ambassadors on the world stage. Their contributions to literature, art, and technology echo across the globe, fostering a spirit of curiosity and collaboration. The Viking empires, united under Eirik's vision, evolve into modern nations with significant global influence. Their maritime expertise, diplomatic finesse, and cultural richness continued to shape the geopolitical landscape. In the 21st century, the descendants of the Vikings embrace a rich tapestry of cultures and traditions. Viking European cities stand as vibrant melting pots, embodying the resilience, unity, and diversity that define the legacy of Jarl Eirik's transformative reign. Fellow adventurers, as the shadows of time recede, we stand on the shores of a reality shaped by the vivid tapestry of Viking empires in Europe. Together, we've sailed through turbulent seas, witnessed diplomatic intrigues, and marveled at the resilience that unites the Northmen and Europeans under the visionary leadership of Jarl Eirik Bloodaxe. From the political reforms that birthed unity, through the vibrant epochs of trade and alliances, settlements and integration, cultural exchange, military expansion, and the rise of Viking empires, we've witnessed a shared destiny unfold, forged by the trials and triumphs of an imagined past. As we step into the future, the legacy of Jarl Eirik's vision lives on. The Viking empires, once bound by fjords and seas, now transcend time and borders. Their influence resonates in the very fabric of our modern world, where echoes of their resilience and unity continue to inspire generations. The voyage through alternative history adventures has been one of discovery, imagination, and the relentless pursuit of what might have been. As we close this chapter, let the winds of curiosity carry you into realms unknown, where the possibilities are as boundless as the seas themselves. Subscribe, intrepid time travelers, and stay tuned for more adventures on Alternative History Adventures. Hit that notification bell, for the winds of history never cease, and our journey into the uncharted realms continues. Until then, may your sails be ever filled with the spirit of exploration and the dreams of what could be.